air flare? Wow.
Now drop. Come on, now drop. Come on, now drop. Come on, now drop. What? Right there.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. We're taking a look at NEXZ Archive, Kirsten's choreography drop, feat Fatman scoop, by Timbaland and Magoo. So I am pretty excited about this because I have had many people ask me to take a look at this, and for me, I'm very familiar with Kirsten's movement quality and choreography and choreographic fingerprints of her training because I have studied Royal Family's mega crew work because of my affiliation with Hip Hop International. I've also looked at her street woman fighter presence with Jam Republic. I've also seen her grow and cultivate and become an amazing mentor and leader through Street Dance Girl Fighter, and I am totally appreciating and loving the fact that she's able to kind of curate her own presence as Kirsten and not Kirsten of Royal Family, you know, so it's nice to see Kirsten as Kirsten. So I am very excited to take a look at this in this realm. There is another choreography that I know that she's been affiliated with that the dance practice hasn't come out yet at the time of me recording this, so I'm treating this as like a little appetizer for myself before we look at the Big Kahuna kind of mega crew vibes that she gave another K-pop group. So this is going to be really cool. I believe NEXZ, I don't know who NEXZ is. It does show that they are affiliated with JYP. I don't know if it was from a show where the winners turned into a group or if this is a new rookie group. I don't know that information. So please, if you are a fan of this group, I'm so sorry for not knowing. I feel though that it's probably them dancing with Kirsten. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch.
Guess who came with a cape on his back, pulled up with some gin, hopped out the Cadillac. Mag is chillin', Tim is chillin'. When I get up in this club, I'm making a killing. Got no gang, but I got big cash. Mess around, I be leaving this club with Stacey Dash. I ain't cute enough with my Jimmy, got a pick in his shimmy. I'm in the club.
I appreciate us gathering and creating great essence with this.
People, where you at? With my fellas in the bag with the carny at? With my girls who think they got it like that? All my independent women, where you at? All my get money dog, where you at? With my girls with the wrong, they shaking the fast. If you love to sing along, holler back.
If you got the fattest ass on the block, now drop. Let it see the keep rock, now drop. Do the snake, do the swing, do the rock, now drop. Yo, don't stop, don't stop. Real high, down sometimes, now drop. Waistline, 5, 6, 7, now drop. One time, all in together, now drop. Yo, don't stop, don't stop. Show me what you're working with. 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 Bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over, bend over. Now drop. Come on, now drop.
Okay with the air flare? Wow.
Come on, now drop.
Come on, Kirsten, pop off, girl.
Come on, now drop. Come on, now drop. Come on, now drop. What?
Come on, hold it down. Wow. That was really fun. I really, really liked that. Okay, let's go from the top. This is so good. I feel like, here's the thing, I feel like Bada and Kirsten rubs off on each other. Do you know what I mean? Because Kirsten is definitely has a lot of her exposure that we've seen her, at least as a performer, has been with like the Rihanna, Savage Fenty, a lot of the Paris choreo, Request crew choreo, Royal Family choreo. Now they can hit hard, but there's like a lot like female independence aesthetic about it, right? And I absolutely love that. And I feel that here we don't see as often whenever we get to see her explore this kind of realm in comparison to some of the other things we're normally used to seeing her in. And so for me, it kind of, I don't know, it's really, really fun to see this. I think there was one moment in it that it reminded me of Weedon Boys' Mega Crew set with Justin Timberlake, where they kind of did that little crunch and then they kind of rotated it. And I'm glad to see that little thing here. I don't think that's what she referenced, but I just love that groove and it looks great. And they did a fantastic job. I saw that air flare. I saw some breaking moments. I'm assuming one of the members could have a breaking background because that was a clean, when I say a clean air flare, chef's kiss air flare. Here we go from the top. Like I said, I have no idea who these guys are, but they held it down really well. Love the energy of how he chooses to present it forward. I would say my one note in this, am I a fan of the camera work? I wish it was more stable, but I do understand that they were probably taking a more organic approach. They are shooting this at 1 mil because of the 1M at the door, but also 1 mil is one of the studios that is huge. It's just a ginormous space because, you know, you see them work with a ton of, you know, ITZY's Born to Be. You saw how many people were in that freaking room, and it's still, like, they filled it, but didn't, like, fill it. Do you know what I mean? So, see this here, I love how he pulls the energy forward. It's really nice to see. I may have to low-key, because the camera does shake pretty aggressively, I may have to 0.75 it just so I can make sure I catch everything. Right here, I love that little boom, boom, nice with the usage of the shirt. That was super fun to see. Taking it down in Cadillac, using the wordplay of Cadillac to kind of turn the camera over to the next feature. I love that with a little swipe action taking place. Going over, it did feel like he was about to do a Zulu spin or a freeze of some kind, but I know we're going to see a little bit more of that later. I love how he picks it up, boom, bringing it up, expanding, using the bases to kind of throw that energy. And then once again, he uses the baseball bat to promote it over to the next person. Nice, he picks it up and he uses a thread moment to kind of hop that leg through. Do I feel like he connected it the whole time? I don't know. Well, did he? Let me see. Boom. Yeah, he did. He did a pretty good job. So for me, whenever you do that type of thread jump, it's always nice to make sure that you fully complete the move before you separate the arms so it feels like a complete move. And I think he did a good job on that. Then he also, once again, boom, propelled that camera forward. Then he takes that little Harlem Shake action. Notice he kept some more of a laid back approach versus going boom and adding a little extra groove there. That would be something I think observationally would really help elevate that moment for him personally. But I love the fact that we got to see a Harlem Shake. It tailors well to the track. Takes it through, throws it, he threw it, and then he caught it. I love that energy. He takes it, boom, he pops it off right there. Does that give a little bit of a crump energy, potentially? But once again, that was just one move. I'm not going to call it crump. So it was just one move that I've seen in essence, that I've seen overlap within that style. I love the slide through, and they're all there. I love the little mixing it right there, pushing it forward. Now right there, boom, creating the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you have a group of 7, odd number, which I mean, normally when you have an odd number, when you have 1 point feature, it's tend to be pretty even. So having their energy and pushing it out, and love this little moment right here with the head ISO. It's just nice to see. Yeah, just having this moment to sell it here and here, like boom, and then they boom accent it up. That's definitely something that I've always appreciated. That was more of a trend-setting thing from Royal for sure in the ISO grooves, where they take a groove and they just work it and build it and take it to a place of like, yo, but in a clean way. And so it's nice to see these little accent moments. It's definitely something of Kirsten's wheelhouse, and I love seeing that overlap here. I said boom, look at that right there. I know, yeah, it's just it's giving the posture, and I love it. They're doing a great job of it for sure. Yeah, he's like, what you want? I love the charisma of this, because that's something that you have to have. You have to have a fluency of going for it in the torso and in the range with the groove between the legs and the upper body in order to carry it on top of charisma. Charisma's not enough. You gotta sell it with your body in terms of the opposition required in the switches of switching between that like grimy grounded pocket into that petty pocket. You know, it's kind of like that. And they do a good job of it. We do notice that some of their torsos are slightly facing different ways. I think everybody's just kind of catering more towards their right side, except for one of our guys right here. He caters it more to the left. But everybody's legs are the same direction, so that would make it a note there as to why that may have not looked as clean as it could have been. Then right here, swinging it through. Also with that groove too, normally you see people use the chest to promote that kind of jump rope, slanky groove. There, it kind of felt more of a jumping one. That's fine. As long as everyone makes the same page, it's fine. Some of them are kind of hovering, some are actually touching. That would be something to clarify there as well. Yeah, then digging it through, that dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, that was a really nice energy to build it up. They take it, they throw it, bringing it down, and then right here, they make it and they travel the groove down, which is really nice. Picking it up, boom, boom, great syncopation. Waving it up, then right here, dun-da-da-da-da. Love that energy too. A little bit of a shimmy, throwing it. I like the circle shot where they're facing the front of the camera every time. Kudos too. I don't know if Kirsten did the movement direction on it too, in the sense of like to make the camera move, and they cater the formations to that, because that's actually really fun. Keeps it captivating. I think just my one note, it's just not a smooth camera, but maybe part of the intention was to give it that organic rawness, which can help with the type of camera shot too. They throw that camera, and then right there, it did feel like a masking cut. They threw it. Yeah, that was a masking cut. So they kind of threw it, and or a matched cut, I think is what it's called. Jordan or May would know that. Where you the transition, they swiped it, and then they started the next take with the swipe, so it felt like, you know, it's all one shot. And so I always love those types of illusions. That right there, they're kicking it through, boom, boom. Then they're doubling it up, which is really nice. There, right there, boom, da da da. It's just thing, full energy. You can get so tired so fast. Yep, and drop. Yeah, so it's definitely like bringing it full energy, boom, da da da, and drop. It's very quick. Remember, this is a 0.75, so it's a very quick turnaround usage of the core and the obliques to make sure that energy is taking place. Woo! And then switching it through that, they did a good job. I really like the fact the choreography tailored to them taking the cussing out or that innuendo out to create this energy here. Yeah, dee 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 dee, and then we're peeling it out. Yep, now drop, boom, and then some of them have an angle usage of the torso, some have it with just the head, so those would be little things that you could clarify to make it like crispy clean, but I don't mind it. Then having the floor right here, and then we have, it definitely feels like we've taken more, it's like a fundamentalist approach of going into, what I call this, it's not a Fresno format, like I would, like that kind of swing with the pop, like it's not a Fresno, but they did choose to kind of, I call it an ambidextrous groove, but it doesn't mean like that's what it's actually called. It's just whenever you do a groove and you showcase it on both sides, it's like a drill type groove where you drill content or you drill technique. A lot of times you want to get both sides of your body to be balanced with the technique, because it allows you more freedom of exploration when you choose in social events or in ciphers, in battles, in freestyle contexts. It allows you more exploration and just freedom in general within the style itself. So I always appreciate seeing that here. And then they interlink themselves and they cap, and I love that accent, boom boom, with the tap and using the opposition with the body to make it look more full. Then that 5-6-7, I love that 5-6-7, a little bit of a running man action, bringing it through and then pushing the energy back. That was fun. Dropping it down with a little bit of a roll, super enjoyable. Then of course, wordplay drop. Cool. Yeah, don't stop, and then they're there, they bring it down, and that causes it to go from the top and down, another matched cut in the masking. I love this here. Now what's interesting is we have it in 3 rows. I am curious as to why we decided to go with this type of approach of a 2-3-2. Normally, I would see my individual here, either tailor end here, or see him on the far end over here. It would make it symmetrical, and you would have a center. I just find it interesting that we went with this kind of angle in particular, where he's kind of isolated by himself in that 3rd row. But it works really well as long as everybody is in check with each other. It's nothing crazy. Now this part, I think, is what it was. That right there, that hit and a hit. I distinctly remember that because it was one of my favorite parts of Weedham Boys' set of the Mega Crew, was that little mess right there. So if you hadn't seen it, SMS, Streetman Fighter, Mega Crew, Weedham Boys, it was their Justin Timberlake one. What is it? Something like that. I don't remember, my bad. But it's the first song of their set, if you wanted to know that particular instance. But I like seeing it there. And then with the switch, kind of feels like, let's do a little bit of a crunch warm up. It reminds me of Waxy doing her overheads with her crunch. It gives off that energy. And then right there, that da 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 da, and they pop it over to the other side. Yeah, a little back it, and I love it with just the body, and then they use the leg to build it and make it look different. Then they do it what you want it to transition it back over. Super fun. And then once again, back it, and then right here to a CC, love it. And then we choose to thread it, like bring it around and through. Here's the thing, I've personally, I think the last time I learned like an actual breaking set or choreographically, that particular thread thing is pretty tricky to do, especially if you're not super fluent in your range in your lower half. So for me, it's been a hot minute since I had actively practice and discipline myself within the conditioning of breaking, because it is a conditioned thing. You need to condition yourself in it if you want to be proficient at actually making a decent set with usage of top racks, floor work, power moves, and freezes. You know, those are just kind of your great key elements to have a really nice full set. And so in this case, going from a CC and then threading it around to create a really nice moment here. I know for this moment right there, what I've heard it called a couple things. I've heard this called a kip up. I do know whenever people go back, it's like called a back donkey kick or something like that. I'm trying to think what specifically in breaking what this is called. Okay, a double back, just a triple check. I mean, most people do call that particular move a kip up, so I'm just gonna call it that until I learn more or more terminology depending on who talks about it in their scope. But yeah, that's actually, it's really nice to see that. And usage for this, they do a pretty good job of making sure that they use the proper energy of the legs to get that energy up, and usage of the core. Also too, he did a good job saving that. I don't feel like he got up 100%, he kind of stumbled back a little bit, which happens sometimes in a kip up, but he recovered it really well, and the camera helped too. Yep, hand up now, doon, 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 doon. Really like that positioning here. And then they bring it out, and then they drop it down. Great levels here, great usage of being a group. You feel that it's very balanced just because you have a center point, and then it's pretty even on both sides. You do notice this side does branch out a little bit more. It's because you see that spacing here, but it's more closed off here. So that would be my little note. If you wanted it to be like crispy clean and symmetry, my guy right here could move up right here. But at the end of the day, though, I think it's more of a concept for fun, and so it doesn't really bother me as much. You can be more forgiving in these types of things. And that boom, boom, boom. Love having your feature down, and he actually grabs one of the other guys, and it allows that to feel more collaborative in your feature compared to everybody else. That boom, boom, boom. That was really nice to see. Right there, boom, usage. Oh, what did I do that here? Is that kind of a great mask to kind of get it very nice and easy to get us into a new spot. This right here, freaking air flare. I love that so much. I'm very impressed. I wasn't expecting us to go for that. Normally I can see people pull off flares. Air flares are trickier for sure. So kudos to him for that. I love this here. Part of me was expecting this to be a flip, but they just kind of slid it through. No issues with that. Love this. We have Kirsten entering the chat right here. They go up, they drop it to that split, they come right back up. You're pretty good. Kirsten, of course, kills it, my girl. This right here, that da 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 da, low to see attack and her usage of her chest as she adds this extra syncopation through to project more forward. Yeah, she goes, come on, come on. Do you see that? She even has this little like, that's that petty pocket is what I call it. She hits it so grimy, but she's also like, girl, don't play. It's like that, you know? Then that here, notice with the head, they let that head go up. They didn't keep it down. They went up, boom, and that's what adds to this, that kind of pocket that they wanted to explore here. Accents with the hips, that come on usage of the range here. Notice that they're not keeping it up, they're pushing the energy back to making it more open with the chest. Yep, and that right there, that little drop. She knows how it works. I love it. Then they use that hinge to bring it around. Come on. I think, did they use the head for that? Let me see. Yeah, so they use the head, which honestly, it's riskier to do that because normally a lot of times people use the body to direct and the head helps make us feel safer or keep a counterbalance. But using the head, you got to trust that core a lot more than you think you do in order to make that really full in the way you want it to be. Yeah, she goes, da-da. It goes, what? They say, what? And I love right there with the little gimme 5. They go and they do a little snap, but notice they're doing an up bounce with the legs as well as with that chest. It's super nice to see. Go to the side. Then they bring it up, partying, doing their own thing. I love that it did something nice and simple near that tail end. It's really fun. She goes, hey, what's up? Next. So, in all honesty, I really liked this because of the type of track it is. I mean, Timbaland, it's nostalgic for me, this track in particular, and it is really nice to see them handle it and approach it well, and I think Kirsten did a really great job on the choreographic side of it to make them stand out and showcase their strengths. I mean, air flare and a little bit of CCs and some breaking in here definitely made me appreciate the choreography more because I felt like we were understanding, and I knew this already too. Like I'm very familiar with Kirsten's background to where I'm very appreciative of the efforts that she's putting in the styles that she's choosing to represent with this. So I just really enjoyed seeing this. This was fun. And what a great first look at me for this group, because once again I had never heard of them until today when I looked at this. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more dance analysis that I have, I cover a wide range of content, including shows like the Street Fighter series, Street Man Fighter, Street Dance Girl Fighter, things like that Kirsten was on recently with Jam Republic. I've also covered dance analysis within K-pop choreography. Every month I tackle a marathon, which this month is actually Shiny. So if you are a Gen 2 fan and you want to see me take and tackle your favorite group, or see if I've already tackled them, with this type of lens, then I highly encourage you to check out YouTube and see what I have there. But I also, on Patreon, all this content gets released first there, and I always appreciate the discussions and dialogue with these types of things, and I very much respect Kirsten and her time in refining her choreographic perspective and her leadership skills, and seeing her turn into who she is today. It was really nice to kind of see that in this lens, and I'm really excited that we get to see her thrive in these types of ways and be showcased the way that she has, and I think it's so deserving for sure. Once again, I am Jess. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.